Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome into the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, catching you guys up on the latest Chiefs news and rumors. Really just kind of an updated reaction to today's training camp practice. So let's dive on into it. Skyy Moore back at practice. All is good there after he left yesterday's practice due to a kind of a hip check on a drag over the middle, kind of limped off. He did post yesterday, at least replied to an Instagram post saying, hey, I'm good. But you never know how he's going to wake up. Obviously woke up good enough to get back out there. You can exhale. It's okay. He's fine. He was at practice today, full go by all accounts. So obviously that is a very good thing because Skyy Moore has had a very, very strong start to camp, and I think he's, moving up the depth chart here to the point where I've flip-flopped him and McCole Hardman here. You could argue Moore and Juju have been the top two receivers at camp. I'll keep MVS at wide receiver 2 for now. I continue to tell you guys it's pretty positionless among these top 4. I think there will be certain games between these quartet of receivers that any of them will lead the team in receiving, with Travis Kelce, of course, in the mix as well. But I think Moore has shown enough that he could have a bigger role than McCole Hardman at this point in time. I think he can be great in this offense. I think he's a good fit. You've seen that at camp. He gets open. He runs good routes, yards after the catch. He's just a solid player, man. He really, really is. Now, he's still a rookie. He hasn't played in an NFL game, but he just looks the part. You watch him run routes. You watch him catch the football with his hands. He's just smooth. I mean, that's the word for it. He was catching some punts today as well. We'll see if he's in the mix as a punt returner. McCole Hardman still back there some also. But you should be excited about Skyy Moore. Don't have to worry about the injury situation right now. He is just fine. Now, here's a question. Will Skyy Moore be in the Rookie of the Year conversation? And before you say it's crazy, there may not be a single quarterback in the running. Like, maybe Kenny Pickett if he starts week 1, but without any rookie quarterbacks in the mix, a player like Skyy Moore playing in a high-octane offense could have a chance at winning it. So type Y for yes, type in for no, just in the conversation, not necessarily winning it. I think it's possible. Curious to see what Chiefs Kingdom thinks on this one. Speaking of rookies, how about another rookie turning heads? Yes, Isiah Pacheco, the 7th rounder out of Rutgers. He just keeps kind of getting brought up. You keep seeing his name at training camp. He's even gotten some run with the first-team offense. They've used him in the slot some as well. He's currently the favorite to be the team's kick returner, too, because that's something we haven't talked about a ton here. Byron Pringle signing with Chicago this offseason left that kick returner spot void, and Isiah Pacheco appears to have the early grasp on that role. He's got versatility, like I said, as a pass catcher. He can play the slot some with his good size and speed combination. I think at this point, he's pretty safe to make the roster. I thought he was probably on the roster bubble heading into camp, but if he's the starting kick returner and if he's rotating in at all with the ones, you got to think he's making this football team. At least that's where I'm at this point. More on Pacheco in a second. But speaking of games, the Chiefs preseason opener is just around the corner. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, August 13th against the Chicago Bears, as the Bears will come to town. And you can go bet on this game with BetUS. You can also go bet on who's going to win the division. First, create an account, chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125 to get that 125% deposit bonus. Chiefs still the favorites. All the naysayers saying they're not going to win the division. Well, Vegas thinks they are. Plus 160 odds to win the division. Chargers sitting there at plus 250. I do think they are the biggest challengers in the West. Denver also plus 250. I thought that'd be plus 300, plus 350, but co-second favorites, I should say, according to Vegas. And then speaking of Vegas, plus 600 for the Raiders right there coming up the rear in the West. But going to be a competitive division. If you want to go bet on this or on the preseason opener, you know where to go. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125. Dave Toub, the Chiefs special teams coordinator, talked about Pacheco as a kick return option. He said, we're going to start him off as the guy and see if he can handle it, see how he does in the preseason. In a few games, we'll be able to know right away. He's promising. He's a big guy, 215-plus pounds, ran a 4.37. That's kind of scary back there if we can get that thing going. We use Pringle that way. I think we can do that with Pacheco. The Chiefs clearly have something in this kid. It sounded like they liked him in the offseason program. It clearly sounds like he's turning heads at training camp as well. Now, to what level will that translate in the regular season? I would guess his best chance of getting early playing time as an impact player is at that kick returner spot, but maybe he's good enough to rotate and get some snaps on offense. And if that's the case, you found this kid in the 7th round, that's a damn good value pick for general manager Brett Veach. So we'll keep an eye on this kid. Like I said, preseason opener, that'll be an opportunity to see him make some plays, hopefully. So stay tuned, because I think Pacheco is going to be a player to watch. Subscribe to the channel, because with the preseason here, we're only going to continue to ramp up our coverage. The latest news and rumors around this football team, training camp updates on a daily basis. Camp winners and losers, be on the lookout for that on Friday when the Chiefs have an off day. We'll kind of do an early camp winners and losers segment for you guys, so stay tuned for that. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. We are your home for the Kansas City Chiefs on YouTube. All right, let's get a Carlos Dunlap update, because he signed, a week ago, whatever it was, and it's like, we haven't really heard much of what's going on. When's he going to be ready to go? Well, apparently he arrived there today. We haven't seen him yet, but Andy Reid did address this and said that there's a good chance he practices tomorrow. They're going to talk and kind of see where he's at, and then they'll make a decision on whether it's tomorrow or the next potential practice, which I believe would be Saturday. I'm excited to have Dunlap on board, because I think he's going to give this team a lift. 8.5 sacks last year, 35 tackles, 14 quarterback hits. We talked about it all offseason. I mean, it's like beating a dead horse that got to get another pass rusher, got to get another defensive end, and that's exactly what you've gotten in Dunlap. He fits what Spags likes in his defensive ends, big and strong. That is Carlos Dunlap. Like I said, I think he's going to provide a boost, provide a lift. This is the exact type of pass rusher you needed, just a vet that can get the job done. That is Carlos Dunlap in a nutshell, with 96 career sacks, I believe is the number. So excited to get him in here, ramp him up. I wouldn't expect him necessarily in the preseason opener. They'll kind of slowly ease him in, but he should be full throttle, ready to rock by the time week 1 gets here in early September. How many sacks do you think Carlos Dunlap will have this season? Give me a number. I mean, as long as you get at least 6+, I think it's a worthwhile signing, opposite of Frank Clark, who's had a strong start to camp. He's typically been in that 7 to 9 range over the last several years. So if you get something similar, I think that's something to be very, very happy about. All right, a few other updates from camp today, and then we will sign off here. Willie Gay picked off Patrick Mahomes. He's had a strong start to camp. I think he's picked him off twice now, so that's nice to see. He's got really good coverage skills at that linebacker position, and we've talked about this too, but with Anthony Hitchens out of the way, Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, that should be a nice 1-2 combo at linebacker. Rashad Fenton, according to Andy Reid, working hard, maybe getting closer to a return. Didn't give a timetable too early for that, it sounds like, but trending in the right direction. No update on Lucas Niang, also no update on Prince Tega Wanogho, who's also on the PUP list. So I think that right tackle spot is probably one of the bigger question marks, at least at this point in time, but that's kind of where we're at with some of these other storylines. All right, Real One roll call. You got to the end of the video, at least I hope you did. If you're still watching, you're a Real One, and brag on yourself a little bit. Comment Real One in the comments. Had fun with that on yesterday's video. We'll do this from time to time, and hey, the real ones, the real ones, you'll just comment Real One on every video, because that's what real ones do. So appreciate you guys for tuning in today. If you're a real one, let it be known, and we'll see you next time on the Chiefs Report.